Hello, welcome. My name's Kathleen. I'm one of the spirit operators, and today we're taking a look at what attracts negative spirits. Now, we're doing this in the hope that you can use these items to avoid having any negative spirits around, not to actually attract them. So this is sort of a warning of what attracts them, because there's probably a lot of people that don't know. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is having a messy home. If you have a lot of clutter, um, you're going to be attracting negative spirits. If you have a lot of, especially if you have a lot of clutter, more than likely you haven't really been cleaning every nook and cranny. And so the negative spirits are attracted to those types of atmospheres. So homes where there's hoarders, where they have like every newspaper for like 50 years piled up in their house and they can't even move in the house. It's all like a labyrinth. Those people, I would say, definitely have negative spirits in the home that are probably affecting them and making the situation worse, and that they can't let go of anything. Because spirits often are attracted to like-minded individuals. So if you already have issues with attachment, not being able to let go of things, then you're going to attract spirits with those same attitudes, and they'll just exasperate, make the situation much worse than it was if it's just you. The next thing is negative emotions. If there's a lot of negative emotions going on in your home or the workplace, like wherever, that will attract negative spirits. So anger, sadness, depression, it attracts negative spirits. Now, it's my understanding that negative spirits feed off of our negative emotions. And so, again, they want to make the situation worse, make you scared, make you angry, even more depressed. And so they will attach themselves to the place where, if there's a lot of those negative emotions hanging around, if there's a home and the family is constantly fighting, then the negative spirits are going to come in and make it worse. If there's a workplace where the boss or someone is a tyrant and is making everyone very upset and uncomfortable, those negative spirits are going to be moving in. And so these are things that we want to try to avoid if we're suffering from depression. And that, that can be based on circumstances. It's not like, you want to be going through these negative emotions, but however, it will attract like-minded spirits, and again, they can make things a lot worse and make it a lot harder to get out of that negative mindset. Okay, so we need to be really, really careful. And if we're suffering from depression, please get help so that you can improve your situation. And yeah, so a lot of times these negative spirits will attach themselves, and then again, they make things a lot worse and make it harder to overcome the negative things that we're going through. Okay. The third thing is negative behaviors. So if someone is a criminal, if someone, like I was saying before, is a tyrant of a boss, or just, they're just miserable in life, that will attract negative spirits. They like that kind of behavior. So yeah, if there's abuse going on in a home or work situation, wherever, the negative spirits will be attracted, and again, try to make things worse because they feed off of these types of energies. Okay. And the fourth um, thing is sorry, addictive behaviors. So, for instance, if you overeat or underexercise, or alcohol, drugs, whatever the addiction is that you have, will attract spirits with the like-minded attitudes, right? So, if If they have addictive type personality, they'll attach. If they are attracted to people that, for instance, are overdose, like drink, sorry, doing too many drugs, it'll get worse, and eventually the person may die. You can know if there's a negative spirit, because negative spirits, they want to feed off our negative energies, our negative emotions, our negative behavior patterns, but they also want to make them worse. And a lot of the spirits want to enter our bodies and live through what we're going through, and make it much worse for us, and manipulate our minds and bodies to do these things. And so anyone who has an addiction, that maybe they go into rehab and they keep trying but they can't stop, and they keep going back for help and it's not working, they may have a spirit that's residing in them, and so they can't overcome it until they get rid of this spirit. So it's really tricky, and there's a and it's not every case, but like someone who has an addiction, they go to rehab once and they kick it, and they stay off of it, more than likely they weren't at the point where they were having a negative spirit or a negative entity um, interrupting and making their life worse. Okay. All right. So another one is, and I know people are getting upset by this, playing with the Ouija board. I played with Ouija board when I was a teenager. Um, if you're someone who has what I would call an undeveloped mind, and you are just going through life, you could probably play Ouija board and not have any problems. But if you have any sort of psychic abilities, any sort of ability that you can pick up on spirits, and you play the Ouija board, watch out, okay? Because they're going to come and play with you. And so you have to take a lot of precautions. So I wouldn't recommend using the Ouija board if you don't know, like, you may not be aware that you have abilities, and you could get whammied, to put it in a silly way. But yeah, I mean, and most people, they walk around life and they have no supernatural experiences whatsoever. Those are the ones I would call undeveloped minds, or at least it's not manifesting for them in this life. They're not working towards anything like that. They would probably be absolutely fine and not have an issue with it. So it's not going to affect everybody, just those that might pick up on these things. Um, Another one, and this is going to be controversial for many people. The next two issues will be controversial, is channeling spirits. Again, that tends to attract negative spirits in. You have to have a lot of precautions to protect yourself. And I personally would not recommend channeling spirits. For me, it just happened. I didn't ask for it. I wasn't looking for it. It just happened. If you're looking for it, you've got to be really, really careful with what you're doing, okay? Because it attracts negative spirits. And the last thing that we're going to talk about, and a lot of people are going to get mad at me probably for saying this, is surrounding yourself with white light. Okay, so here's the story behind this. I work with white light, but it's internal, for healing, for purifying. I have never surrounded myself with white light, and my spirit helpers um, told me, okay, don't surround yourself with white light. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said, no, you don't want to be doing that. Don't do it. And I was like, I've never even heard of that. And so I looked online and I found out there's a huge following of people surrounding themselves with white light when they're interacting with spirit. And so I said, well, what's the issue? And they said, well, it's kind of like this. The spirit realm, let's say it's just all black, it's all really super dark, okay? And the spirits are wandering around. And then someone surrounds themselves with white light. Bing! They just appear in the darkness. Woo, here's this white light. It's like a searchlight or like a lighthouse, like zoom, and the negative spirits all know, whoosh, here's somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. Woo, we're gonna go in and play with this person. Now that's what spirit told me. That's how they explained it to me. Now, me being me, I wanted proof. I said, okay, well, I need some proof for this to know that what you guys are telling me is true. And there was an astrologer that I was following online. She was so accurate. It was like awesome. And I was really impressed with her. Then one day she announced that she had been meditating for 25 years and hadn't made any progress. And I was like, oh, she must have been doing the wrong meditation because after 25 years of meditating correctly, she should have been very spiritually advanced. So that's really sad that she's wasted all that time doing the wrong types of meditation. Um, so she decided she was going to channel spirit. And she got the help of what I would call a con artist. And she was told to surround herself with white light, she'll be perfectly fine, and channel. And so, sure enough, some spirit showed up and said, well, we have to enter your body to do this properly. So she let them, thinking, well, they must be good. The white light's protecting me. And she's possessed. She is in total, complete denial. But I saw her having an interview with someone, and the person asked what their name was, the name of the spirit that she was channeling. And the spirit responded, oh, I go by many names. Whatever the person wants me to be, or, you know, what they're expecting. And so sometimes I go as the Virgin Mary. Sometimes I go as Jesus Christ. In this case, she wanted to talk to aliens, so I called myself Palladian. Um, what? Okay, so first of all, did not answer his question, did not give their name, and second of all, just whatever it is the person's looking for. Yeah, that's not honest. So, and then the thing she was doing, because these spirits, negative spirits, they've been around for a long, long time and they know the teachings, spiritual teachings. So they'll start off telling you all these good things. Oh, yeah, do this. And then slowly they'll start saying negative things like it's okay to be rich and it's okay to be selfish. And so as she was talking about things that are happening in her life and things she was doing, more and more negative things, like she was doing more negative things and more negative things were happening to her as a result of what these channeled spirits were telling her. So that was my proof right there that the white light does not work. So that's one thing I would recommend. Please don't do it. Please don't try to channel spirit, especially if you're not used to working with spirit. I have been interacting pretty much my entire life. So please, please, please be cautious, be careful, and yeah, just look after yourself. Be safe, okay? Their negative spirits are everywhere. All right. Okay. I think that's it. I hope this has been helpful and that I was clear with explaining things. If you have any questions or anything wasn't clear, please let me know in the comments so that I can clarify it. Okay, I really appreciate your feedback. Okay, and any other questions that might have come up during this, and please absolutely let us know in the comments. Okay, I really appreciate you being there. Thank you so much for watching.